headset for us tonight. Justine Jones helping us out. T-Man. Appreciate you. You got us?
Yep.
Thank you so much, T-Man. Great performance from you tonight. 14 points, 5 for 8 from the field, 5 rebounds, and 2 threes. How did it feel to get back out there, get regular minutes after you had to go to the locker room yesterday with that calf strain?
It felt great. Yesterday I was really excited to be out there, and I was kind of bummed that I had to get out. I felt like I was having a good game, and I was excited to keep going. So, Cash a little banged up, but I want to get out there today still and do what I do.
You definitely did that, leading the bench in points tonight in your 22 minutes. Tell me about what goes on at halftime with this team, because it's the second straight game in which you guys have come out of half and just dismantled the team to start the third quarter. Where does that business-like approach come from?
We feel like we're a real mature team. We feel like we have a bunch of guys who've been in the NBA for a little while now. We know that the beginning of the third quarters are big for teams, especially when you have a big-time lead. It can go either way. So that's just been our main focus, to take our game to the next level, take our team play to the next level coming out the half.
T-Man, you're one of the more long-tenured Clipper players on this team, and this is a group right now that's sitting fourth in the NBA in defensive rating. You're a top 5 defensive rebounding team. What has been the difference this year for this group to really shine in the effort categories this season?
I think Van Gundy, he came in here and he preached effort. He preached being physical, and that's exactly what we're doing. We hold each other accountable with that.
All right. Thank you so much, T-Man. Enjoy this one with your teammates. Congratulations on the win.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you. The final here at the Moda Center, 118-89. The Clippers take down the Portland Trailblazers. Terrence Mann, 14 points, leading the team off the bench with his 5 rebounds and 1 assist, and my player to watch. All right, Adam Muslin, I guess it's your turn to take over. We'll see you on the flip side. Clippers win for the third straight time. They hold the team under 100 for the third straight time. They come away with a victory, 118-89. The final score here in Portland. They win the season series, and they take down the Blazers for the second straight time. We'll see you in a few on your Clippers Audio Network.
The domination continues from your Los Angeles Clippers. It wasn't 59, but they just won by 29 up in Portland on the second night of a back-to-back. Clippers 118, Blazers 89. Welcome into your post-game show. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we got second half highlights, your post-game box score, and more. But first, let's go back to Moda Center with your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, they led by 21. They let up a little bit late in the second quarter. It was down to a 14-point lead, but then the way the Clippers came out to start that third quarter, special. I'm also interested to hear what happened in that locker room at the half.
13-2 run, Adam, and the Clippers just put their foot down and said no more and really finished this game on a strong note. It felt like they imposed their will, they imposed their physicality. A lot of credit to James Harden and Norman Powell tonight, Adam. It felt like that when those two were playing well, the entire Clippers team was flowing and moving offensively. I thought Amir Coffey was excellent in this one, 10 points in his 23 minutes. Amir's played the most minutes of anyone in this back-to-back for this Clipper team. All around a great performance for this group. Could they have had less turnovers? Sure. Could they have rebounded a little better? Sure. Did they play on the second night of a back-to-back, getting into this city at 3 a.m. last night? Yes. So I think there are some things where you can just give them a pass. And overall, when you look at the box score and you see an opponent score under 90, Adam, in an NBA game, I mean, it's just unbelievable stuff. This Clippers defense is clinical this season.
Yeah, they have been that good. We talked about Jeff Van Gundy, the impact he has had on this team. They might have moved up to third now on the season when it comes to defensive rating after this ball game. But your player to watch, Terrence Mann, you spoke with him post-game. It was good to see him out there after a little bit of a scare, leaving midway through the second quarter with that calf injury yesterday. And Terrence Mann thrived and helped lead the backups and just keep the pressure on, keep the energy up in the second half for this one as the Clippers continue to pour it on.
Yeah, and Terrence Mann, I thought, was so good at picking his spots at the right moment, really orchestrating that offense, Adam, after Kevin Porter Jr. had to go to the bench with the back injury. And maybe he's showing Ty Lue that, hey, 2 years ago, I played a little bit of point guard. I don't know. Hopefully KPJ is okay, but should he have to be out for an extended period? I think the Clippers are probably comfortable, Adam, when Kawhi Leonard can't play the second night of back-to-backs with having Terrence Mann be the point guard with that second unit for this team, kind of a creator, driving, kicking, somebody whose nickname is Stat Sheet Stuffer, and being able to stuff the stat sheet. Wow. Stuff the stat sheet for the Clippers in this one. Sorry, second night of back-to-back problems. You know what I mean. 118-89, though, Clippers. I'm glad my player to watch just was the highlight of tonight's game, leading the team in points off the bench. No doubt about most impactful performance today.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because not to be outdone, Norman Powell led the Clippers with 23 points. He happened to be my player to watch. A former Blazer back in his old stomping grounds, 3 of 4 from the outside, was a plus 28 there. Tied Ivica Zubac for the best plus-minus number out there today. But Norm looks smooth. He's a smooth operator. He should be an all-star this season. And I just love I guess they call it the scoring appetite that he has out there. He is looking to get buckets, and it only took him 12 shots to get 23 points.
Yeah, I was especially impressed, Adam, when Norm came in to start the fourth quarter and the Clippers were looking to just bury the hatchet in this one. And he kind of was their whole offense. I mean, he got to the rim, got downhill, got to the free throw line, knocked down big threes, finished the game with 23 points. You mentioned it, getting to the line with those 9 free throws and only 12 shots in this one. The Clippers now have held 3 straight opponents to under 40% from the field. And that starts also with Norman Powell's defense. I thought he was great today. We came into this game, Adam, talking about the guards of Portland, how good somebody like Shaedon Sharpe can be, Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson. Well, Simons didn't score today. He goes 0 for 9. This is somebody who has scored 40 in the past in the NBA. Shaedon Sharpe has to take 11 shots to get the 12 points. Scoot Henderson, 14 shots to get the 16 points. The Clippers' perimeter defense is probably the biggest improvement from a season ago. When you got guys like Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. in your starting lineup, as Ty Lue says, to shut down corners for this Clipper team, and we see how they shut down Portland's impressive guard play tonight.
Yeah, those two guys setting the tone each and every night out there. And there was another Portland Trailblazer. We just mentioned him, Derek Jones Jr., who I felt like when this game opened up in the third quarter, he was scoring at every level out there. It wasn't just him catching lobs, a three-pointer, a jumper in the mid-range. He also might have had something to say against his former team.
Yeah, 5 for 7. Very efficient today with his 13 points. Clippers are undefeated when he scores 14 or more, but 13's plenty enough tonight for the Clippers, who win big time. I thought he was great at getting ahead of the pack. This Clipper team, Adam, the more we watch them, the more it feels like they should play faster. And I think when Kawhi Leonard comes back and the pressure is a little bit off James Harden, when Leonard's fully back in this lineup, I could see this team being a top 5 team in fast break points this season, because as Ty Lue says, it's not about playing at a high pace. That's not what he cares about. If you get the rebound and the first guy open down the court is there for the swing, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking to play fast an entire game, but if the easy bucket ahead of the pack, ahead of the defense is open, the Clippers, I mean, that's a moneymaker for this team for most of the season. 27 fast break points today on those outlet passes. And James Harden, I mean, just looking like Patrick Mahomes today with the way he throws the ball down the field at him. Straight dimes for this Clipper team in transition, and it gets out a lot of buckets. That's a big reason why Amir Coffey is one of the best in transition this season. Norman Powell's top 3 in the NBA in fast break points this season, and we see Derek Jones Jr., the beneficiary. Also a reverse dunk by Derek Jones Jr., and not the reverse in the way you would think. Back to the basket over the right shoulder, can't even see the rim, and he threw it in. One of the big highlights this offseason with the Clippers getting younger, getting more bouncy, and Derek Jones Jr. has helped them immensely in that area.
Clippers win 118-89. They are 23-17, 6 games above 500. And now, after 2 days of good business type of work, taking care of business type of work in this back-to-back, they get 2 days off. They don't play again till Sunday, where it's the first Battle of Los Angeles of the season. Clippers taking on the Lakers. Clippers will have the home court all to themselves at Intuit Dome Sunday night. Tip off at 6, pregame at 5. Carlo Jimenez, great call as always. We'll see you back at the Dome on Sunday.
Oh, Adam, I get to see you 5 times after this 2-game stretch in the next 7 days.
Aren't you lucky?
Let's go!
Clippers dominate up in Portland, winning by 29. And you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers sweep the back-to-back, winning yesterday by 59 over Brooklyn at Intuit Dome, winning tonight by 29 up in Portland over the Blazers. Final score, Clippers 118, Portland Trail Blazers 89. Welcome back into your post-game show. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we got your final box score, but right now, let's get to those second half highlights. Mentioned it with Carlo Jimenez, but Clippers led by as many as 21 in the first half, but let up towards the end of that second quarter. But to start the third, they reestablished themselves.
Derrick Jones Jr. jabs left, moves right, spins against Simons, attacks the paint right-handed floater around and down. Derrick Jones Jr. with a bully bucket, and the Clippers are up 21 on a 7-0 run. Turns and faces one-on-one with Kamara, lobs it up. Derrick Jones Jr. reverse jam. Oh, flight 55 with a little finesse and the throwdown. He drives, he kicks Derrick Jones Jr. A left wing three. Cha-ching! Derrick Jones Jr. from bonus distance, and the Clippers go up 74-42. Here comes Derrick Jones Jr. at the free throw line, pops and drops in the jumper. Derrick Jones Jr. with 13.
DJ doing it all. A three, a jumper, the lobs, 10 of his 13 points in the third quarter. Clippers led by 20 as once again they had a bit of a let down at the end of the third. But then to start the fourth quarter, they did not let up as Norman Powell led them in scoring.
Holds well above his head, finds Norman Powell on the right wing, rips through around a Zubac screen, crosses left hand, gets into the paint, elevates and lays it up. 16 for Norman Powell. Zubac's triple team, swing at Norman Powell, right wing three, line it up and knock it down. Norman Powell's got 21.
Norman Powell had 8 points, make it 9. Don't want to short him in the fourth quarter alone. The Clippers led by as many as 34. They go on to win by 29 over the Portland Trail Blazers in Portland on the second night of a back-to-back. Clippers 118, Blazers 89. Coming up next, your final box score right here on your Clippers post-game locker room show on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers are victorious. Another dominant, decisive victory, 118-89 up in Portland over the Blazers. Clippers win by 29. I'm Adam Moslem. This is your post-game show. Coming up, we got Clipper Stock on AM 570 LA Sports. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. As the Clippers are now 6 games above 500 at 23-17. They were led by Norman Powell, 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 from distance, 23 points, 3 assists, 5 boards, just 1 turnover. James Harden had 19 and 6 assists, 3 turnovers. Big Zoo, I thought did some big work in that third quarter against Ayton. Got a couple on him. 10 points, 8 boards, 5 of 10 shooting. Led in the plus-minus category with Norman Powell. Both of them had a plus 28 out there. Chris Dunn, not a bad ball game from him. Knocked down the only three-pointer he took. Went 3 of 4 from the field. Had 6 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals. The defense was tremendous by the Clippers overall, but specifically Chris Dunn back in the starting lineup with no Kawhi in this ball game. No problem for the Clippers somehow. Derrick Jones Jr., we highlighted him that third quarter where he had 10 of his 13 points, 5 of 7 from the field, also went 1 of 1 from 3. And Amir Coffey gave them a real boost too. 3 of 5, 10 points, 2 assists, had some really tough buckets in that second quarter. A tough reverse layup, a tough fall away, like what we saw from Amir Coffey, and then Terrence Mann playing hurt. Talk with Carlo Jimenez post game. Yeah, he's got the calf contusion going on, some soreness there. 5 of 8, 2 of 3 from distance, 14 points, 5 boards, was aggressive, assertive out there. He's looking like, even with these weeks off, the best version of himself so far this season. He's looking like Terrence Mann again. It's good to see it. Clippers win 118-89 in Portland. They got 2 days off. They're back into it, taking on the Lakers for the first time this season on Sunday night. Tip-off is at 6. Pregame show at 5. Outside of Los Angeles, we are leaving you until then. But coming up next here on AM 570 LA Sports, we got Clippers talk. Clippers weren't exactly trailing the Blazers up in Portland much in this game. They led early, they led late, they led by as many as 34 and won by 29 with a final score of 118-89. As the Clippers are now 23-17 on the season, 6 games above 500, and they've only had Kawhi Leonard for 4 games so far. Welcome into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. If you'd like to get on tonight, I'm checking in with Chuck and Will. See if any of the Clips and Dip guys want to join me here on the postgame show. We will have Daniel West with your Western Conference standings, how the West was won, update 2. I say it every damn show, it feels like, guys. I'm so proud of this Clippers team. I think the start of that third quarter was some of the best basketball they have played. I know people are going to try to diminish this and downplay it. Oh, it's Brooklyn and Portland. No. Second night of a back-to-back, having to go out on the road. They got in at 3 a.m. last night. Portland was waiting after a poor performance themselves last time out against Brooklyn. And the Clippers put on a demolition derby. They led by 21 in the first half, by 34 in the second half. But it was a 14-point game at the half. And I thought the Clippers let up a little bit into that second quarter. Both teams only scored or combined to score 3 points the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the second. And Portland ate into some of that lead. Clippers led by 21. At the half, it was just 52-38. I thought they let something slip there where they had a chance to open things up and slam the door shut in the first half. They come out in the third quarter, fully focused, starting things off immediately with a 13-2 run. Zoo goes at Ayton. Dunn steal and score that was created by defense from Ivica Zubac on Ayton, who tried to kick it out, panicked, threw it away to Chris Dunn, got the easy bucket. DJ run out. Missed some gimmies, but got fouled. DJ, tough floater. Clippers back up 21. Norm draws a foul, gets to the line. Dunn, a push shot, made it 62-40. Biggest lead so far in the ball game for the Clippers. Harden 3, and there's your 13-2 run. There's a timeout. The Clippers keep pouring it on. James Harden run out for a dunk. You don't see that very often anymore. Zoo a floater. Derrick Jones Jr., a reverse jam looking like Vince Carter off the lob from Harden. Unbelievable. Then a DJ 3. They're up 74-42. And then a DJ jumper. It's 76-45. Timeout Portland. Zoo has a throwdown off a man feed that was chef's kiss underneath the basket. It's 78-49. The game's over. It's over. They just won the last 2 games by a combined 88 points. They went plus 88 in point differential, winning 59 yesterday against Brooklyn at home. Next night up in Portland by 29. That's impressive. That is handling business. That is staying focused. That is knowing you have a 4 and 5 coming up. What did I tell you on that impromptu schedule show when we got the release from the NBA that 9 games were rescheduled in the league? I think 4 for the Clippers. I said, okay, this puts the onus on the Clippers winning these next 2 games. They just became must-wins. Oh, they won them with style points. Now, you go 2-2 next week. You're still 6 games above 500. You're in great position in the Western Conference. But I do want to get greedy. I'm okay with 2-2 next week, as long as one of those victories is against the Lakers on Sunday. They need it. It's the first of 4 meetings. These are going to be heavily consequential when it comes to Western Conference standings at the end of the year. And the Clippers, I mean, they look like they're peaking heading into that matchup right now. One game they dominate with Kawhi. I guess he's good for 30 more points. because they won yesterday with him by 59, without him tonight by 29. They dominate with him. They dominate without him. They win at home. They win on the road. They're two subpar opponents. I get it. Teams every night in the NBA play down to their opposition. Every night. You see it. As Will Updyke would say, you're playing the team, not their record. It's not played on paper. Anthony Simons is one of the better young players in this league, and he has torched the Clippers at times. He went 0 for 9 and 0 of 5 from 3 after he just came off a game where he was 3 of 12, and I was assuming, okay, he's going to bounce back. That's problematic. No. I can't say enough about this Clippers defense. Holding another team, third straight game. They've held a team under 100 points. Seems good, right? They held the Heat to 98, the Nets to 67, and the Blazers to 89 tonight. That is not easy in this 3-game winning streak, coming off having lost 4 of 5. This Clippers team is locked in, focused. They have the right mindset. They have a game plan, and they are executing it to perfection. And this all leads into the Lakers game on Sunday. Couldn't be more impressed with the squad. Couldn't be more happy with how this back-to-back played out. Even the lone blemish yesterday with Terrence Mann leaving that game in the second quarter, he comes back tonight. He's active. Oh, he was activated all right. 14 off the bench. A lot of those points came when the Clippers were up big, but no, Terrence was looking for a shot, as he has been when he's been healthy. Right before he broke the left middle finger, since he came back from that, he had an easy layup off a loose ball that went to Mo Bamba on the outlet pass, and then had a nice jumper in the third quarter, step back, then knocked down a couple of threes. If there is a competition going on between him and KPJ, as both guys were out there in this game, it's leading to both players bringing out the best in one another. That's what you're seeing. I thought KPJ had a solid ball game. Couple of turnovers that were just tough to see. Backcourt violation, another one that was challenged and was obviously off of him. Those unforced errors. Got to clean that up. But came in at the 3:45 mark of the first, hit a jumper, hit another jumper in the first half. I thought he made some solid passes out there. This Clippers team looking deep. Second half of back-to-back, and nobody played 30 minutes. I will put it like this. I think the Clippers won this game yesterday by the way they executed, winning that game by 59 points, and nobody playing more than 24, and that was Kawhi, who wasn't going to play tonight. They gave themselves an opportunity to be this fresh, to come out and play this sound and this crisp and be this focused. They're up by 10 after the first quarter, 14 at the half, 20 after 3 quarters, led by as many as 34 and win by 29. Just complete domination. Teams all the time on paper look like they should dominate the way the Clippers have. No, I'm with you. We can get out. All the time on paper, it looks like it should play out like this, and it doesn't. The last 2 games for the Clippers, it has played out this way. Doing everything right. Clippers win 118-89 up in Portland over the Blazers. I'm Adam Moslin. More Clippers talk next. I get it. Clippers win 118-89 up in Portland. They win the last two games by a combined 88 points. They went plus 88 yesterday and today. First Brooklyn and into a dome tonight in Portland. They lay waste to the Trailblazers. I'm Adam Moslem. This is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. And while we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LA Sports. All right, I got some numbers for you, Clipper Nation, you're going to like. First one comes from Shane Young. With their last two blowout wins, the LA Clippers are now second in half-court defensive rating for the season. They're holding teams to just 92.2 points per 100 possessions in the half-court, nearly 5 points better than league average. It's the best defense in franchise history. They've had Kawhi 4 games so far. A 2-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. And the defense is this good. More numbers. Terrence Mann threes by month this season. He went 0 for October, 0 of 8 from 3. In November, 13 of 35, 37%. In December, 3 of 4. He was out a lot. In January, 7 of 10 so far from 3. The turnaround from 3 is happening for Terrence Mann. That comes from La Murray, who also has this. This is the first time ever that the LA Clippers won both games of a back-to-back set by 25-plus points each in franchise history. The instances that the Clippers won consecutive games by 25-plus points in franchise history: December 2014, they beat Minnesota by 26. In Orlando by 28, but I guess it wasn't a back-to-back. They did it in November 2016, January 2020, January 2021, 2021, January 2025. But this is the first time they won both games of a back-to-back set by 25-plus points in franchise history. So, according to Justin Russo, we put this question out there, plus 88 point differential in back-to-back games. Is that the best ever? Not just by the Clippers in NBA history. According to Justin Rousseau, the plus 88 point differential by the LA Clippers is the 6th time in NBA history a team has won back-to-back games by at least 88 combined points. Clippers joined the 1994 Knicks as only teams to do it on back-to-back days. Not sure that exactly answered my question. So who's got the record? It's the 6th time in NBA history a team has won back-to-back games by at least 88 combined points. So they don't have the record, but it's pretty historic what they've been able to do the last 2 games. You can talk about their opponents. There's bad teams every year, and this is just the 6th time ever that has happened. Impressive. All right, let's hear from Chris in LA. Chris, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslem. What's up?
Good evening, Adam. Yeah, every time the Clippers do play Portland, I'm always concerned because to me, it's like, they're just one of those teams that, I feel can, pull the upset out,
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel that way about Portland.
Here's the thing. They did beat the Clippers earlier this season at Into a Dome by 1 before the Clippers
I remember that game.
Yeah, before the Clippers just decided to stop losing at their new home.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last, basically in the 2-1-3 era through this season, the Clippers have dominated Portland. In fact, going back to 2019, they only have, oh my goodness, they've only lost to them twice since 2019. We're talking about 6, 9, 12, 16, 18. So Portland is 2-18 in their last 20 games against the Clippers. I'd say the Clippers have dominated them pretty well, but point taken.
Yeah. And then also, I had a couple of questions. One of them was about the trade that the Clippers made with Denver last season. I remember they traded for a center from a foreign country, and I just can't remember the player's name or his country. And then my other question was, how does the plus minus stat in basketball work?
How many points your team outscored the other or were outscored by when you were on the court during that time?
Oh, okay.
As for the player, I can't remember his name. It escapes me at the moment. I'm sure somebody in the chat will answer that. That's a pretty good bar question, Christopher. You stumped me pretty good there. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name. Call me back on Sunday after the Lakers game. Maybe I'll have it for you.
Yeah, we got to get a win against them. They took 3 or 4 from us last season.
They did. After the Clippers had beat them 11 straight times and hadn't lost before with Coach Lou as their head coach against a team that almost brought him in as their head coach, but they lowballed him. You reap what you sow. Clippers are victorious tonight, 118-89 in Portland over the Blazers. Quick timeout. We'll come back. Looking for post-game audio, plus Will Updyke will join the show. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Clippers continue to dominate the Portland Trailblazers. They are 18-2 in their last 20 games against them and win by 29 up in Portland. 118-89 is your final. Clippers 23-17 now on the season. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. This is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Law Murray says for the 5th time in Clippers franchise history, they have won consecutive games by 25-plus points. Clippers win 118-89 at Portland after winning by 59 points versus the Nets yesterday. They have 2 days off, then 12 games in 21 days, starting Sunday against the Lakers at Intuit Dome. Dun, dun, dun. All right, join the show right now because the Clippers have been winning and just got another big victory. It is Big Will Updyke aka It's Our Year Updyke. Will, how are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. This was another great victory to see by this Clippers team. I honestly think what they were able to do to start that third quarter, they looked almost upset with themselves with what happened at the end of the second, where a 21-point lead was down to 14, and they said, nope, pedal back to metal. We're going to finish this right now. That was the level of focus I saw. What did you see tonight?
Yeah, I agree. They were able to lock in. That the end of the first half was a little bit disappointing to see them kind of let their foot off the gas. So that was kind of echoes of what we've seen in Clippers past. And, just the Clippers not playing super consistently in this stretch has you kind of concerned about where they're at mentally. So it has been good, aside from the double digit victories. To see them able to lock in. And it's one of those things, while they're still fourth, I believe, in the season defensively, we have seen that flip. It's been nice, even against these teams that, sure, have been offensively a little hamstrung, still seeing them lock in and pay attention to details in the way that I don't feel like we've gotten as consistently as we did at the start of the season. So it's a weird part of the year, which is understandable, but I think it feels like we're kind of rounding the corner and we're getting that focus at least so we don't have to limp into the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think it was right before the game against Miami. So they've won 3 straight, starting with the win against Miami, that over the 6 games prior to that, they were 20th defensively. Well, since then, a team has not scored 100 points against them. One team scored 67 against them. The Portland Trailblazers tonight only scored 89. It's incredible the way they've kind of refound themselves or just relocated that identity that they need to have to get by, regardless if Kawhi is there or not.
Well, and I think the good thing, I think the strongest thing for this Clippers team is that they have had that identity so clear, right? So when they get to these spots where they're not quite themselves, I think, and we've talked about this before, it's just got to be a little bit easier to chart the course because you're not starting at square one. It's not what is this team, what's going to make us effective. They know, and the personnel is what it is. Like you can't scramble a lot of square pegs into round holes, right? Like while there is versatility on this team, it's constructed a very specific way. And so when you get away from those principles, the team is obviously going to struggle. So it's good to see that they're getting back to that. And I think, so much credit to Van Gundy, but everybody in that locker room too, to be able to kind of pull through that, even with the All-Star break sort of on the horizon.
Yeah, it seems like they know themselves and how they want to play better than the opposition does most nights. And that's a big advantage for this Clippers team. Even if they're not the most talented, their chemistry is so good. They're so disciplined with how they have to win. And they have had that attention to detail the last 3 games, especially the last 2 being a plus 88 in this back-to-back, winning by 59 yesterday over Brooklyn, by 29 tonight up in Portland. What have you seen from Kawhi so far? Because I think people were looking at it through the first 3 games of he's trying to feel it out. And then last game yesterday, it was, okay, I'm going to see what I can do out there and look like a star again.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly got his legs under him and is a lot more comfortable than he was. I think the thing is, there was a little bit more hesitancy to go inside, and it was great that the threes were sort of falling early out the gate for him. But I see him being a lot more aggressive there. I thought really since the start, I was impressed with how aggressive he was defensively. We talked a little bit about this. I don't know that he has another mode. I don't know that he is the kind of guy that can really turn that off or play any other way on that side of the ball. Whereas I think he's been, through the injury stuff, I think he's a little bit more tentative to maybe turn things all the way up on the offensive side of the floor. Like that's how he kind of mitigates some of that risk and some of that stuff. And so, yeah, I think seeing him willing to get inside more, I think seeing him get more physical is a good sign that he is a lot. He's a lot closer to, the Kawhi that we last saw.
What did you make of first Terrence Mann got a DNP, then KPJ got a DNP CD, then they both play tonight. Of course, there's no Kawhi, second night of a back-to-back. Do you see it as a competition going on just for minutes between those two guys?
I think it's a possibility. There just needs to be a larger sample size for me with KPJ, just given the sort of leeway that he's had with the coaching staff so far. I think like with the DNPCD, I'm still a little hesitant to say that his spot is that much up for grabs. I do think that Terrence, though, is overachieving, especially compared to where he was at. He has looked a lot better on the court. I think he looks better on both ends of the floor. He's a lot more confident offensively. Today hit a quick, like, no thing three. I think that Terrence might be playing his way into a stronger position more so than it's like, it's one or two of these other guys. Cause I do think the skill sets are different enough, but I think that Terrence, since he's returned, has been popping enough that it does beg the question, like he probably should have more minutes. I think KPJ will continue to have a role on that second unit, just as like another sort of ball handler, until, unless things get really, really bad. But I think that it's more of a situation of Terrence playing his way into more minutes than like one or two, than these two guys like necessarily battling it out for one spot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, Terrence does have such a resume with the Clippers that if he just shows signs of, oh, he's back to doing this stuff again, it's back to Terrence Mann like basketball, you kind of know what you're getting a little bit more consistently than you do with Kevin Porter Jr., of course. Speaking of consistency, I thought Ivica Zubac patrolling the paint in this game, not just the play where he blocked Scoot and then blocked DeAndre Ayton, which was incredible, but overall,
Unreal.
I was watching him away from the basketball and just the way he was redirecting shots and doing those little things. Like, he built a damn moat with crocodiles and piranhas around the rim tonight. I thought he was so special out there and has been all season long, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's been totally he's been totally incredible, and this Clippers team, for a lot of reasons, is kind of flying under the radar. And the big talking point is like, can we get Norm to the All-Star game? But I think, like, if you're any sort of educated voter, is there not a way that Ivica Zubac doesn't end up on an all defensive team? Like, I was trying to make the argument with our co-host Charles earlier, like maybe third team or something. Like, he's not gonna be at the top of mind, but it'd be so foolish. And obviously he's not gonna make an All-Star game. The game isn't that way anymore. But it would be foolish to me if he didn't get some sort of recognition for this type of season that he's had. And we've seen the highs of it for years. It's just him being able to do it at this level consistently. He's always been a consistent guy, and he's always improved incrementally. But this year has been something pretty exceptional, and I think even the biggest Zoo doubters or skeptics, you don't really have a whole lot to argue about now. There's not really a whole lot of fuel for that fire, if I'm being totally honest.
It's tough when you're in shambles the way Zoo haters are right now. There's nothing they can do. I mean, they've been bodied. And he beat the DeAndre Ayton dominates him allegations tonight, I would say, too, especially in that third quarter. What have you made of Chris Dunn?
What is going on with Ayton? Does that guy want to play basketball anymore? I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, that's a weird situation. He's got a ton of talent, but I don't know, the motor and the want to, I don't see it. But Chris Dunn has come under fire a little bit with Clipper Nation because he's been so poor from the outside over the last month and a half after starting off the season. Obviously, punching above his weight class or shooting much better than anybody anticipated. He was at like 45% from three the first 12 games. Since then, he has more than just regressed to the mean. He's going a little bit below where his career numbers are from three. Do you still feel like his defense is such a net positive, that it doesn't matter, that his offense is still like a bonus? Or do you see real issues with teams sagging off of him and daring him to shoot?
I mean, I think that it just depends. I think in a playoff scenario, yeah, it's something you got to be concerned about when the margins get slim and you're seeing the same team again and again and again. Of course, right now in the regular season, like, look, it's really hard, especially watching these guys night in, night out, to not get so stuck in how poorly they're doing lately. But we do have to remind ourselves, like, that just is kind of how averages work, right? Like, he shot 45% at the start of the season. He's like a 33% career shooter. So yeah, there's going to be some pretty bad games. There's going to be a pretty stretch of bad games in there. I mean, he shot 100% tonight. That's got to help that out a little bit. During the regular season, I don't think it's a big enough of a thing, depending on, I'm assuming that Harden's availability is going to stay the same. If we can continue to keep Kawhi on the right track, I think that we have enough, and we do have enough spacing. And I think that we have not as much versatility in years past, but I think we have just enough versatility to mitigate that. Like, I think we have enough shooters to mitigate that. So I do think that his defense will definitely offset that. You'd like to see him getting into a little bit of a clip, though, as the season winds down, just because, like I said, in a playoff scenario, I think that's where it becomes a little bit more problematic.
He is the leader of the It's Our Year movement. He's at the vanguard there. It's big Will Updyke from Clips and Dip fame. We got a new episode coming up for you guys tomorrow on Friday, previewing that Lakers game coming up on Sunday at Into a Dome. Will, thanks for doing this tonight here on Clippers Talk on AM 570 LA Sports.
Absolutely. Let's enjoy a long break and get this dub.
Quick timeout here. Clippers win by 29 up in Portland over the Blazers, 118-89. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to AM 570 LA Sports. Can we get some competitive games? Come on. Is this even fun anymore? Break up the Clippers super team. They're ruining the league. They win by 29 tonight up in Portland after winning by 59 yesterday at home over Brooklyn. They are a plus 88 over the last two games, doing historic stuff. Welcome back into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. Thanks again to Will Updyke for joining me last segment. We'll have Clips and Dip for you tomorrow night with the big three. Clippers now. And I got to give Himothy some credit here in the chat. He predicted this earlier. He thought they would jump up to third in defensive rating on the season. They are now third best defense on the year. And now they're 22nd offensively. A few games back, they were 24th or 25th. So tends to happen when you outscore teams by combined 88 points over 2 games. Unbelievable. Last 48 hours for your Los Angeles Clippers. Really, really fun to watch a team come together like this that knew what they had to do with a 4-5 coming up next week after the rescheduling, the schedule happening, whatever you want to say, with their schedule being shuffled around and them getting 17 back-to-backs now this season. Well, the Lakers had a back-to-back taken away from them. They have less now. It's just weird to me. I don't know. But the Clippers, they knew the assignment. A job well done the last 48 hours against 2 granted bad teams in the league. This is how you handle your business. First, winning by 59 and not having a starter play more than 24 minutes yesterday, well, that enabled them to be fresher tonight. One game bled into the next. What happened yesterday also affected tonight's game. Win by 59? Okay. You should be fresh and ready to go the very next night. The Clippers were, even though they got in at 3 a.m. up in Portland. People calling them the cardiac clips. It's our year clips. People talk about Kawhi Leonard. Can't wait till he's fully ramped up. Super Saiyan Kawhi. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Appreciate this, man. Daniel West, our producer here, has an update on the Western Conference standings after the Clippers are victorious with a ton of style points again tonight. Daniel, what's going on and how the West was won?
Oh, man, Adam, it's good to see you. All right, well, just a few games tonight, but some games of note in the Western Conference. So we'll just start from the top as we normally do here. You know the rules. As the number 1 seed, still the Oklahoma City Thunder, 34-6 record.
Yeah, what'd they do tonight?
134-114 over the Cleveland Cavs.
Wow.
And what we like to call, one of those possible finals previews, battle of the East-West leaders.
Like, Shaq has been saying this since Tuesday. He's like, write it down.
No.
These 2 teams are going to play each other in the finals. Like, you're really going out on a limb there.
Yeah. See, I don't even think about it as like, I'm predicting it'll happen. It's just nice to see, the battle of the great powers up at the top, but not much of a battle tonight. So they're the 1 seed. Then we have the Rockets at number 2, 27-13. They lost kind of a controversial one tonight to the Kings.
Tell me about that.
Dylan Brooks looked like he had stolen the ball with, I believe, under about 20 seconds to go. They called a foul on him. Rockets were down by 1.
Dylan the villain getting a call going against him.
Yeah, he was not
on
happy.
Brand.
Yeah, so the Kings win that one. So the Rockets second, 27-13. Third, the Grizzlies, 26-15. Fourth, the Denver Nuggets, holding steady at 24-16. Fifth, your Los Angeles Clippers, 1 game behind. All those losses to the Nuggets are kind of haunting them now at 27.
They had the tiebreaker won. They were only supposed to play him 3 times this season. And then with the in-season tournament, they gave him 1 more game.
Oh, the IST. So they are, 23-17. Lakers a game behind, 21, or a couple games behind, rather. 21-17. Lakers are. Mavs 7 seed, 22-19. Wolves at 8, 21-19. The surging Sacramento Kings, who in their last 10 are 8-2 at 21-20. And then the Phoenix Suns at even record of 20-20, 5-5 over their last 10 games. So there you go. That's the West.
I saw they won by 7 in Washington, but they don't have Nick Richards yet.
Okay.
And I do like that move they made.
Right.
They needed help in the front court. So
there you go.
I'm not counting Phoenix totally out yet, even though they're a 10th seed. Daniel West on how the West will be won with the update there in the Western Conference standings. Appreciate you, Daniel.
Same, man.
All right. So Clippers win by 29, by 59 yesterday. And they got a big showdown, Battle of Los Angeles, coming up next ball game on Sunday at Intuit Dome. First game this season against the Lakers. The Lakers, I'll give you a mini preview here. They got a big victory last night over the Miami Heat when they were down by 12 at the half. But outside of that, their defense has been playing poorly. They've been bottom 5 in that area. Last 10 games, offense has been like 11th over that time. But if it's not one thing, it's another. First, their defense was bad to start off the season. Their offense was good. Then their offense got worse when their defense got better. Like they can't figure it out. They can't put it all together. I'm cool with it. But they are dangerous. When you have LeBron, when you have AD, and they might have a little bit more confidence against the Clippers after winning the season series for the first time in years last season. Tip-off from Intuit Dome, Clippers and Lakers, 6 p.m. Pregame show starting at 5 on Sunday. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call. You had a pretty good pick, first player to watch. I don't know if it was as good as Norman Powell was, his Terrence Mann pick, but it was good. It was really good. And Daniel West, thank you here in Burbank. Oh, and our lead statistician, Chris Taylor. Oh, and Big Brother Jake Warner. We'll see you on Sunday. I'm Adam Osland. We will talk to you with your pregame show for Clippers Lakers at 5 p.m. Sunday at Intuit Dome.